Breakfast Club.
Thanks for joining us on the Breakfast Club. Today, another edition of Breakthrough with Mind Edge. This program brought to you by Mind Edge. Get the winning edge with Mind Edge. Now, research says that most of us only use a fraction of our brain capacity. Just imagine how much more you could achieve if you knew how to make the best of more of it. If you could, in fact, train your brain. Now, joining us today to tell us how you can accelerate your learning through brain training, starting with improving your memory, is Alan Yip. He's founder of Mind Edge and the two-time record holder in memory power in the Singapore Book of Records. Alan, by the way, is also the best-selling author of FUNtastic Parenting. Backed by over 20 years of research in gender science, validated across 30 cultures, his learning academy, Mind Edge, has trainers who truly understand how your boy and girl can make the best of their brain-based characteristics. All of this to reach their full potential in terms of learning, also character building through small group coaching of only 10 students per class. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning.
Now, Alan, I understand that you have started a new partnership with an organization known as Edublox. In fact, it's a renowned brain training center. So since we're going to be talking all about training your brain,
Yes.
Tell us more about the approaches that you use with your partners.
That's great. We are excited and honored to be joining force with Edublox, a cutting-edge brain training, reading and learning center or clinic in the world. They've been, for the past 30 years, been conducting a lot of programs to help children with learning difficulties, or even for some parents or teachers would say learning disabilities. Now, this is very important because they've been helping a lot of children with problems in learning. We have analyzed their methodologies and technologies, and these technologies are very powerful to help children who are doing okay, or even children who are getting excellent results, or even children in the gifted education program. So I want to share more with you because they have over 50 years of intensive research about brain training, reading and learning. The approach is holistic. When people talk about, for example, cognitive skills, well, what are we talking about? We are talking about the skill of attention, right? Concentration, speed of thinking, speed of learning, auditory memory, short-term memory, sequential memory, visual memory, long-term memory. And Edublox is a leader in this integrated approach to train all these very powerful aspects of your brain. For example, if you're doing okay in school, well, let us build a more powerful processor for you. Is okay?
Okay,
we focus
so
on the
if
mental hardware.
If you're doing okay, let's figure out how to do better.
Yes,
right?
because now you need to drive this F1, Formula 1 or Ferrari of the mind. If you're not doing okay, if you have been frustrated or suffering from low self-esteem because you have not been doing well in school, we need to look at your mental hardware first. Do you have the hardware of cognition or cognitive skills? If you have been doing extremely well, great. Now, how can we move you to the next level? By helping you build a very powerful processor, by helping you to turbocharge your concentration and so forth. So this is a brand new technology. I think now by joining force with Edublox, with Mind Edge, in my humble opinion, we are offering the most powerful combination of brain training, memory power, language acquisition and application skills ever presented in Singapore.
And you're going to be giving us a taste of this in our next 3 editions.
That's correct.
Right? Today and 2 more, where we're going to be talking all about powering up your brain, training your brain in terms of memory and concentration as well. Also, stay tuned and learn how you can join a brand new program, and your child can join this brand new program. It's the FUNtastic Brain Clinic. Accelerate your learning through brain training. Jointly presented, of course, by Mind Edge and Edublox. We'll give you details towards the end of the show. So let's get back to this, Alan. You talked about cognitive skills. What exactly are you referring to when you say that, and what impact do these skills have on a child's learning abilities
Yes.
and, of course, ultimately performance?
That's right. That's an excellent start. I think, first of all, we need to understand one thing about human learning. It doesn't just take place on a single level. Rather, it's what we call stratified process. That means one step at a time, right? For example, if you have a child in primary or secondary, you cannot just send your child to university, right? You've got to get them to go through year after year to higher level of education. Or another practical example is this. Before you can add or subtract, you must learn how to count first. Before you can multiply or divide, you must learn how to count first. And that is the crucial key that we are talking about, because we know from research that many children are not having the necessary cognitive skills for them to learn efficiently or effectively.
Why don't they have these skills? I mean, what's happened to prevent them from sharpening those skills?
Well, they have not been trained.
Okay.
For example, if you want to be a good or top athlete, you have to train your body. You've got to train your mind. Do you have the endurance, the stamina, the speed, the flexibility, the muscular strength? Are you with me so far? Before you can even learn other skills, right? Because if you don't have all those foundational components, it's very hard for you to become a top athlete. And that's what we're talking about. Because cognitive skills here refer to what? To your ability to think, your ability to concentrate. Because if your child cannot focus, forget about learning. There is no way they'll remember, understand, or apply the information they learned in school or in the self-study. We talk about auditory memory. That is, when you listen to your teacher's directions or instructions, can you remember them? If you can't in your working memory, right, there's no way you can keep in your long-term memory. See, one step at a time. Or many children suffer as well in the visual memory area. They see the words, the formula, the numbers, but they can't really make sense out of what they see. And so we need to focus on these areas, what we call cognitive skills, because a weak foundation in cognitive skills is actually the biggest challenge that students are facing right now. If they are not doing well, or if they are not having breakthrough results, I think we need to go back to the foundational skills. Now, the exciting news is this, parents. These weaknesses or areas can be attacked.
Right, can be fixed. You can train your brain.
Yes,
right?
You can. This is the very good news for you. That's right. You can train your brain. You can help your child or even yourself.
Yes, because I was just thinking, I need help here.
You're
I need more of
Parati.
this. I need more of this, optimization of my auditory and visual memory, for instance. So let's talk about that. Let's start with memory.
Yes.
I've always felt that before you can solve the problem, you need to know why you have the problem in the first place. So why do we forget?
Yes, excellent. Well, why do you forget? I think let me talk about and share with you the decay theory first. Very interesting theory. And is validated, of course, based on neuroscience. Because on average, this is what's happening in your brain. Within an hour after you have learned something new, guess what? You forget 70% of the information.
Okay, that explains everything.
And
so don't blame anyone for forgetting things.
Within 48 hours, you forget
all of it.
84%. So
Wow.
well, how can you keep the information first? Well, you've got to be active in acquiring the information, in understanding. Now, that's where many students fall short, because they don't understand. They just repeat, or they just cram. And you don't want to study for the sake of just exam preparation, okay? Very important. You've got to be active, and you've got to review and rehearse too. So what are the implications for you? Well, students, if you have been passively reading your textbooks, or just sitting and listening to your lecturers or teachers, you won't learn well. The key is for you to understand by making notes, not just taking, making. In your own words, rephrase what you have learned. Use colors. Colors are very interesting in stimulating your brain. Being active, that means, hey, knowledge doesn't go to you, okay? You've got to go and grab it. So what does that mean? Learn something and teach back. If you cannot explain it, that means you have not understood, right?
Okay.
And when you are learning, read the information out loud. So again, this is to improve your auditory memory. Or you can prepare PowerPoint presentations on what you have learned, improve your visual memory. So far, so good. Or just recite the key points in sequence. Now improve your sequential memory. Or draw a picture or mind map and improve your kinestetical and visual memory. There are many, many interesting, powerful ways to help you improve. Now, another key is this, okay? For those of you who are preparing for the big primary school leaving exam or O-level exam, take advantage of the June holiday, because you've got to now review what topics and materials that you must know in order to do well. Because now, based on the decay theory, how can you overcome that and do well? Well, first of all, when you learn something, review the key points in 1 hour's time.
Review as in just look through it again.
Yes, just
right?
look through it and make sense of it. And of course, if you know some of our memory techniques at MindEdge, then use them. Okay, very important. But review the key points in 1 hour's time, 1 day's time, 1 week's time, 1 month's time. And of course, before your PSLE exam or O-level. One more time, okay, before the exam. Then you will lock the information into your long-term memory. You pass the exams with flying colors, with confidence and ease.
And of course, the other key is to make those notes, yeah? So don't just read the stuff, make notes,
Yes.
rewrite the content in your own
because if
words.
you are not able to phrase it in your own words, that means you have not comprehended, okay, and you have not really mastered the materials.
Stay with us on 938 Live. We'll give you more examples of how to improve your memory muscle when we continue on Breakthrough with MindEdge. Brought to you by MindEdge. Get the winning edge with MindEdge.